Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Friday, November 14th. Celtics are 6-7 on the season. We're about, what is that, an eighth of the way through the year, and we're ready to go. How you doing, Sam?
Doing pretty good. Excited to see the Celtics keep going. We have a fun show for you on the way today. We'll go through Jack's takeaways from Celtics practice on Friday. We've got former Celtic, might be on the way out of his new home, maybe by February. And Scal has revealed that the Celtics may have drafted a certain MVP had they not traded for a certain someone 7 years ago. But anyways, we'll go through your emails too, go around the NBA, check the standings, talk about just some disastrous stuff in the Western Conference, and then we will do the rat list and get out of here. So stick around through all of it. We're every single day, full pods, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps one after each game, other videos in between, and pregame live a half hour before each tip-off. But yeah, without further ado, Jack was at practice today. He had a nice chat with Joe Mazzulla about his haircut.
I did chat with Joe Mazzulla about my haircut. I don't know if he liked it. He noticed. He saw it.
Joe
he saw the
Mazzulla
haircut.
noticed her. That's how you become a head coach.
He acknowledged. But the first thing
there was no like
What?
after like the cameras were off. Like I think it looks nice.
No, he just walked away. No idea if he liked my haircut. That said, the first thing is actually not from practice. It's from an event, a playbook initiative workshop in partnership with New Balance, led by Project 351. That happened after practice at the Airbag Center today. Xavier Tillman and Brian Scalabrine, Scout, were at it today. Goal was to prepare students and trainers for conversations around race, gender, religion, disability, orientation, safe space environment. It was a bunch of high schoolers from the Massachusetts and Boston area. They came over and had some conversations with Scal and Tillman and the leaders there. It was a great event. But one of the most interesting tidbits after the event, when we got to talk to Xavier Tillman, was actually about Jayson Tatum and Jayson Tatum's recovery and such. And Bobby Manning was asking him about how Jayson Tatum has interacted with the team while he's been out. And it's pretty interesting tidbit was Tillman said, yeah, his thing is trying to create more killers out there in terms of like mentality. I hear him talking to Jordan a lot about just being a killer every chance he gets on the court instead of just playing a certain role. He just knows winning basketball and knows what it takes. So he gives different gems like that throughout the game and throughout. Well, we haven't had much practices, but throughout the games and throughout our travel and in between to help guys on our journey to try to win as many games as possible. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Also said, Bobby asked if he's been, impressed by his recoveries, and Tillman said, I was before I knew how consistent he was working. Once I heard how consistent he was working, I was kind of like, well, I can see that. It makes sense now. So just a couple interesting tidbits about Jayson Tatum, how Jayson Tatum is still staying present around the Celtics this year.
Yeah, it's even like without knowing this stuff from Tillman, it's been evident that he had that goal in mind. Like, it's not often you see players like this who are sidelined for a significant amount of time. Like with Tatum, over the summer, we were assuming it was going to be the whole season. It might not be the whole season now because of, how active he's been in recovery. We don't really know yet, but we know he's not going to be playing for a while. And typically in that situation, guys are not traveling with the team. They're not at every game. They're not on the bench. They're not like out for everyone to see. And I don't think this is meant to be a superficial thing either. Like now that I say it out loud, like out for everyone to see, like, does he just want to like have people see him there supporting? Like, no, I don't think so. I think he really cares about this. I think he believes in the group that they have. Like the numbers will tell you. I guess we can kind of loop this in. Like Celtics are top 10 in net rating, top 10 in offensive rating, top 10 in defensive rating with a negative record. They've done a lot of things right. Joe Mazzulla talked about winning the shot margins when I asked him specifically about this and how well the Celtics have won the turnover battle. Like all of those things are kind of like championship habits you have. Like all of the talk Joe had about winning the margins over the past few years is carried over even with this new group. And I think Jayson Tatum being a mentor to guys, like being somebody that somebody like a Jordan Walsh can turn to, or even somebody like Josh Minot, who's new here and doesn't really like have a lot of connections or familiarity with the area or the team. Like probably it's helpful to have Tatum around the team too, kind of encouraging everybody. And I don't know how much Tatum has to do with all of this. Like we can't directly credit him with everything that's gone right, but the Celtics are 6-7 and all of the stats I mentioned. And then also you have just about everything going right. Like every new player / young player has shown you something that you can be excited about, even if they're not perfect. Like Minot has been somebody we had no expectations for, and he earned a starting spot for the majority of the season so far. Jordan Walsh has played so well over the last week and a half that he eclipsed Minot. Ugo has been a revelation. Luka Garza has his moments where you can really see the vision of like him being a hard worker and wanting to dominate the offensive glass. You can see where he could have a role. It's probably going to take him a little more time, but like there's something there, and the Celtics realize that. Regardless, the point is, I think the encouragement of having a Jayson Tatum there may do something for these guys. Maybe it doesn't, but maybe it does.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a player of that caliber in your corner at all is always going to be a positive, even if he's not able to get on the court. Like, you think about the experience he's had in this league. Like, as crazy as it sounds, he's now the second most tenured guy, third most behind Jalen and Boucher, tenured guy in the NBA. I don't know if I froze there.
He
but
might be.
It's him and Derek, I think.
Him and Derek were the same draft class. I don't know if Boucher is like outlasting him, but as terms of being a Celtic, like Tatum is second to Brown, obviously.
I know it's Jalen and Jayson up there. And then I don't know Boucher. Regardless, the point stands. Like he is one of the most senior guys on this roster, right? You have a team that is Ugo, who's a rookie, and Josh, who's 22, and Jordan, who's only been in the league for a few years, and Baylor, and even like Mish Kata, who's a starting center now. Peyton Pritchard was a few years or a couple years after Jayson Tatum. Like it's just a bunch of guys who, well, most of them are veterans in the NBA at this point, like Peyton and Sam, and these guys have been there. Like you've got a guy in Jayson Tatum who has been around even longer, and not only been around, but like been making conference finals almost every fucking year of his career since he's been in the NBA. Like that is a valuable guy to have in your corner. That is a valuable mind to get to, learn from day in and day out, whether you're practicing, whether you're playing, whatever it is. Like that is inherently a valuable thing. And so good for the Celtics and good for Jayson Tatum, like for adopting this mindset. I thought the Jordan thing in particular was fun to hear that he's been in Jordan's ear talking about being a killer. But some other stuff just to round out practice, because that was from the Xavier Tillman led community event there. Some interesting tidbits from practice, nothing too crazy. But Joe talked about rotations, talked about upside and downside to everything. Upside to having set rotations, also downside. It could read like complacency. You could lose a lack of a sense of urgency. Could be entitlement, inability to be flexible or going against the team. So kind of talking about how that has been playing into things. Hauser also talked about getting to know everybody. This is my sort of line of questioning. I want to know how the personalities have blended together. He said it's been fun. Like everyone's kind of jived pretty quickly in terms of getting to know each other, bonding off the court, stuff like that. I asked him anybody in specific. He said Josh has been very funny. So that's been something to note as well. But I don't know. It's just interesting to hear how the team has been coming together in the different facets of everything that's been going on.
Kind of feels like these kind of things are connected. Your line of questioning with how Joe Mazzulla's described the rotations. It's like the rotations at this point to some of the fringe guys, it almost feels like a test. It's like, how do you respond when it's not you? Like, how do you respond when it's somebody else that's out there shining? And it could be you, but it's not. What are you willing to do to support that person? How do you respond to that? How much does the team mean to you? Like, and it's a really difficult situation for some of these guys because, like, I say it all the time on the show. It really has just stuck with me that Josh Minot went out on media day. The first thing he said to all of us is like, this might be it for me. Like, this is make or break. He acknowledged that. Like, it's a very scary thing for some of these guys, I'm sure, who have like done this their entire life. Like they've played basketball their entire life. They've been the best basketball player on their team for the majority of their life, probably. And then they come to the NBA and they might get DNPs. They might get benched in favor of somebody that they personally don't feel like is as good as them. They may feel like, and this might not even be in Boston, like somebody like Minot or even Luka Garza, who Noah did a tremendous feature on for Celtics blog and really dove into his grind and how hard he worked and the hoops that he's had to jump through to maintain his body and to improve. Like he's doing all that work. He's taking 12,000 extra shots per day or not per day, per season than the next guy. And yet he's still just sitting on the bench behind Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid and Cat, who was there for one of his couple seasons in Minnesota. To stay mentally strong in that and be ready when your number's called and to be able to support your teammates says a lot about your character. And if there's one thing we know about the Celtics, especially like this Brad Stevens regime, where everybody they seem to bring in is just great vibes. Like they really seem to get it. They care about the team. They have like good personalities. They seem like good human beings. Like Brad Stevens doesn't play with the bullshit. And the Missoula rotation thing may be a test to all that.
It could be a test. I think he just wants to do whatever it takes to win, and
Yes.
I think for him that means doing whatever. Like I think he just doesn't really care like who plays anymore. Like it's been so straightforward the past 2 years of okay, these players playing are going to give us the best chance to win. Minot could play bad one night and Jordan Walsh is better or Ugo's better, and you just need to be ready to go to those certain rotations. So I think absolutely it's a test for him. I think everything is a test for him. I think him commenting on my haircut, not saying shit was a test for him. And I think him not having a set rotation, like I think he lives in a world where everything is a test, everything is a give and take, everything is seeing how people react to certain things. And I think not having a set rotation is part of that. And I think in the end, he believes that it's going to help them win basketball games. And like you said with the net rating, like they've been playing good basketball. And I think the closeouts of some of these close games are going to come as the season goes on and they continue to develop some of the chemistry that they need to develop in order to win in those clutch time situations. So this is just Joe being Joe. And I think he's earned the grace of he knows how to win in the NBA. He knows how to put teams in the best possible position. And for as much as people want to say he had stacked rosters, I know they're 6-7 right now, but he has coached a team to a top 10 offensive and defensive net rating through the first 13 or the first 11 games of the season. Or no, I was right. First 13 games of the season. Pretty damn good. That's a pretty damn good start. And I think he's earned a level of respect and a level of you give him some time to work on what he works on.
Well, he clearly doesn't teach them how to box the fuck out because they've lost 2 games because they've given up offensive rebounds in a game. I'm kidding. I'm playing the role of the Joe hater. I think what we've seen from the Celtics has been really impressive, and it's just so makes it even more frustrating that the record is what it is. I've seen like several people. I think Krause, one of them, Green was another, tweeting about like how easily they could be like 9-4 right now if just a couple different things go their way. And if that was the case, we'd be like, whoa, this team's incredible. And like Missoula is such a whiz. Like he gets all this and he's so smart. And instead, like all the doubters get to like kind of poke their head out of their caves and be like, we told you he's nothing without like the stars. And it's like, I don't know, man. I've said it to you on the show several times. The winning with the stars is still impressive to me for him. Like he was thrust into that. The roster was brand new in 2023, and they started off never skipped, never missed a beat. Like they were great from right at the beginning. There was no growing pains, nothing. He had all those guys bought in. Like that says something about him as a coach. And the feeling on him seems to be consistent by everyone that's been here and how awesome he is. Like even Georges Niang talked to Bobby Manning last week when Utah was in town. He was talking about how he felt so welcomed when he was here for a month. Missoula invited him over for lunch. Like they talked about what his role could be. Like he makes it a personal goal to establish relationships with all of his players. And it's something he talked about a little bit after the game. What's today? On Wednesday. Yeah, talked a little bit about it. Regardless, Missoula doesn't get enough credit for like the interpersonal stuff he does to make guys feel at home, which I think ties this all together.
Agree. Before we continue, I want to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the best place to get real money sports action this basketball season. As the season rolls along, this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the excitement this basketball season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Celtics 6-7 right now, obviously not the best. However, you can still have some fun on the PrizePicks app. It offers stacks now, which means you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. If you want the more on Jaylen Brown's points, rebounds, assists, you can pick them all in the same lineup only on PrizePicks. You can pick his, shots, his makes, if a dunk is there, you can throw that in the lineup. You can pick them up to 3 times in the same lineup. So check it out there. You can also follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app. You can copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. PrizePicks also puts its users first, which are also fast, safe, and secure. Offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account as well. So everything about it is super easy. Football season also going on, so if you're on the Drake May hype train, you can check him out too, and even use the sacks that I mentioned with the Jaylen Brown as well. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Jumping over to Mr. Kristaps Porzingis, who's having a little bit less fun than we've been having on PrizePicks. Sam.
Yeah. So this segment should be taken with a grain of salt. We did the Anthony Davis video yesterday, and Jack prefaced it with, like, if it's not Shams, it's not it. Well, I guess it's not going to be Woj anymore. But if it's not like one of the greats, if it's not one of those super
Shams, Scott
dudes,
O'Stein, the 3 S's,
big three, you want to like kind of take it for what it is. But tweeted that the Hawks may be looking to move on from Porzingis by the deadline.
We can rehab this conversation. I don't want to put his name on the show. It's bad. It's really bad.
That's fine. I mean,
okay.
But anyways,
we can have the convo. Yeah.
And again, like, that's why I preface it with this. This is speculation, probably at its finest. But if Atlanta was to move on from Kristaps before the deadline, because Onyeka Okongwu really started the season strong, it would be. I mean, it was a low-risk move for them to get him, but it would be a disappointing Atlanta Hawks career for Kristaps, who, by the way, has already missed 4 of their 13 games. He's only averaging 17 points on 41% from the field and 31% from 3. Very inefficient for a guy that's just taller than everybody, except Wemby.
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't know. Like, Kristaps has already dealt with some of the pot stuff as well. Like, he's been taking some rest days, taking some sickness days. Like, it's unfortunate because it's just like the illness that the hand he's dealt. But he hasn't been that great when he has played. I mean, outside of he started the season 4 of 7, 3 of 6 from 3, and since then he has shot 7 of 32, 22%. Like, he's just really struggling, and it's a slump, right? Like we've seen with Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. Like, players go through slumps, but it's been a pretty rough start to the year, especially with, like you said, like Kongwu's been pretty good. Like they found something with some consistent minutes there. He's averaging 15, 8, and 2 on 51, 39.6 splits, taking just as many threes as Kristaps. So, or not just as many. He's taking 4. Kristaps is taking 5, so 1 less. But it's not amazing, and they're definitely guarding them differently. So there's like extra context, etc. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I will say, I think I said this at the time. I don't know who I said it to. I hope it was here, so it makes sense. Hawks have been a lot better since Trae Young got hurt.
You did. You said it to me. You said that might help them.
Yeah. Hey, man. He played in 5 games. The Hawks went 2 and 3, and since then the Hawks have went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2.
As somebody who is sitting on an Atlanta Hawks Eastern Conference Championship ticket, I'm rooting for it. I want to see them do well. Thought they had an awesome offseason. Thought the internal development would do something for them. Thought they might have finally put like the perfect defensive roster around Trae Young to make it serviceable. It's kind of funny, like, he's not the same player as Simons, but he has a lot of the same shortcomings where, like, he is an undersized guard who's bad at defense, or like isn't a notable defender at the very least, to be kind, right? And you can just see how negatively he impacts that whole thing. Maybe a lot of it has to do with the ball dominance and the usage and all that stuff, but like the Hawks just have a bunch of young guys that play defense and play hard and are exciting. They're winning games now. But you know, to tie it all together, Jack, I put my own tweet on the rundown of the meme of the guy presenting you the trade offer. You receive Kristaps Porzingis. The Hawks receive Anthony Simons. Who says no?
The Hawks say no. I don't think the Hawks do that trade, man. I just don't think I don't think that happened. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Hawks are gonna do. I don't know who would want Kristaps, but
would you take Porzingis back on like a mid-level over the summer? I think Jake and I did this on First to the Floor late night.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I think the problem is you have Like the reason Kristaps worked so well these past 2 years is because you had Horford and Cornette, and you could like afford for him to be a part-time player. You can't really afford for him to be a part-time player anymore. So like it's just too much of a risk. Like it's just as much as it sucks. Like I like Kristaps to do. Like he's fine. He
Well,
was
Horford
cool
will
to
come
interact
back.
with, etc. All right, but like it's just you can't spend your mid-level, which is a very valuable commodity that you need to spend wisely on Kristaps just for him to not play in half the games. And then you're like, you need somebody who will play or like has a better track record of playing at least. So.
Very
I
fair.
think that's where I stand. But last Celtics thing for the email is apparently Scal has been talking about somebody on the broadcast, and I'll let you outline.
Yeah, so Chad Finn of the Boston Globe tweeted out today, just very simple, but Scal has indicated on recent Celtics broadcast that he had intel that they would have selected Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in 2018 had they not traded the 8th overall pick as part of the Kyrie deal. What a trio that would have been. Shai, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown. It's kind of funny. I forget that Shai was in that draft, and I just only remember that pick turned into Colin Sexton because that's who Cleveland took with that pick. Revisionist history is making me really upset. Thinking, be like, man, they could have had Shai. There's no guarantee he becomes a player that he could have been. There's no guarantee that all three of those guys would still be on the same team in 2025. Like, there's a lot of butterfly effect stuff with this, but like, man, that's just hard to know. Scal, you shouldn't have told us.
Hey, man. If the Celtics had SJ, it would be crazy. I think the biggest point you made is true, though. Like, if the Celtics had this version of Shai, it would be insane. We don't know that this version of Shai would exist if the Celtics drafted him because he would have had to play behind Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It could have hurt his development, et cetera, et cetera. Would have been cool, though. I think he'd still be a pretty damn good player if they gave him the chance to be.
It would be so fun to be a 2K creator.
Yeah,
you could just
like
have reports of this come out, and like you'd be like, all right, that's a new video for me. Whole 2K sim of just putting Shai on the Celtics in 2018 and seeing what happens.
What if the Celtics drafted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander instead of trading for Kyrie? Yeah. I mean, the other one I saw today, I think S. Bahraini I saw TikTok today that he did of the Thunder own the Clippers unprotected first next year.
Yeah, a lot of bad upcoming things season,
so they could
right now.
So they could end up with Debonsa Boozer or what's his name? Peterson. And also the Spurs own the Hawks pick. So if the Hawks are really bad and Wemby just gets it. A lot of the scary things are happening with some of the top teams in the Western Conference who have managed to shape their asset pool very, very well.
Yeah, like OKC is literally like a 2K team you would do in like a sim. Like if you took over the team, you would just trade for all of the first round picks and then like always know which guys are the best guys, so you draft them, and then you would trade the guys that become a surplus for even more first round picks, and your team becomes self-sustainable. Man, they've actually done it. Like they actually have first round picks of legitimately bad teams. Like the Clippers might be actually really bad. And I'm bummed. I actually liked them coming into the season. I truly can't believe they're this bad. They've already had some bad injury luck. Like Bradley Beal broke his hip like an old person. And Kawhi is in and out of the lineup. I'm sure the tree stuff didn't help their vibes going into training camp either, but shocked that they've started this. We'll see them Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess hindsight's 2020, but giving up your second leading scorer for John Collins will probably hurt you, I guess, when you think about it. I thought it was a fine trade at the time, but now, like in hindsight, I could see why that could be a danger to your success chances. Like, oh man. Anyways, emails. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That is hbtcpod@gmail.com. We check them every single full show. So if you don't hear them on a shorter episode, just know that they will be on the next full show. Today we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. One from John, 2 from RJ. So we can go on over and check him out here. First one from a name I don't recognize. Apologies. John Blanchard says the Boucher of it all. Hey, Sam and Jack, where do we stand on Boucher? I liked the signing during the offseason, but where are the dividends? I was anticipating him playing a small ball 5 or double big lineups, but Joe seems to have forgotten him. Is the emergence of Minot that sent Boucher to the shadow realm, or is he waiting to turn? Or is he waiting his turn as Joe experiments from Ugo to Billard and Walsh and down the line? Boucher was grabbing 4 to 6 boards his last few seasons in Toronto. I see no reason why he can't replace this and knock down some threes while he's at it. Note he was playing 14 and 20 minutes tonight in those season. But with the coaches emphasizing rebounding, I believe he could replace those numbers in a few minutes. Thanks for the insight. Go Seas, John. What do you think, Sam? I'll let you go first.
So I think Boucher is in this weird spot, and it kind of ties into what we talked to at the top of the show with the testing guys, like rotation, non-rotation, also like the Tatum piece of it, where like a lot of the guys that are all on the fringe have played relatively well. Boucher just hasn't. Like when he's out there, like he hasn't really made a lasting impact. And it's too bad because I agree with you, especially going into the season. It was like this is a pretty decent like rotation boosting signing. Like this could be good for them. And he hasn't really had the opportunity. It doesn't help him that like literally everybody else in the group with him has stepped up. Like Minot's been really good at times. Jordan Walsh has been really good for the past week and a half. Ugo has impressed all of us. Those are all guys he's competing for minutes with. And whether or not we all projected that during this, the training camp and offseason, everything like is another story. Cause I think we all thought he could be a little bit more of a big, but he so clearly is not. And it feels like he fouls so much when he's on the floor because he's not strong enough to actually defend some of these bigger guys. And like, that's okay. And I think in Toronto, he had the luxury of playing alongside somebody like Jakob Poeltl, who's just a tank. Like that guy is a tree of a basketball player. He's dominant in the paint. He's a good rebounder. Boucher gets to play off of that. That makes it a little easier for him to average 4 to 6 rebounds a game. I just don't think they really have that for him in Boston, where it has to be all hands on deck hitting the glass. Like they don't have a machine that way. And he just doesn't equate to rebounds in the same way that these other players do.
Yeah, I feel like the reason he was getting that many rebounds in Toronto the past couple seasons is because he was playing next to a center most of the time, like namely Jakob Poeltl, and that would be the best probably way he could make an impact in the Celtics lineup, playing next to a Nemish Cater or Luka Garza. But at that point, based on what we've seen, like Sam said, I'd rather have Walsh or Minot play those minutes. Like they've just been better than him, or Ugo play those minutes even, because they've just been better, bring a bit more versatility and provide that. And like again, like you said, he just fouls a lot every time he's on the court. He hasn't been able to play the small ball 5 a lot. I don't know. I mean, where are the dividends? I also think is like it's a minimum signing. Like there's no guarantee who's ever going to be good. Like they're all minimum signings for a reason. So I don't know. I just think other guys have been better than him. Like pretty significantly better than him, which is fine. Like it is what it is. But
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
mean, thinking about like what it means for the Celtics going forward, I think this is like an optimal outcome. Like that 3 of your competitive players with Boucher have all outplayed him to this point. Somebody who's a proven vet in this league that's won a championship before in this league, multiple championships, right? He got one with the Warriors technically too. Yeah, but I mean, it sucked for him. Like I actually feel pretty bad for him, but it's just the reality of the situation.
Cool. Yes. RJ says, sorry, I was like,
that's okay.
Yes, I agree. RJ says, hey folks, yeah, the Philly loss sucked, but in a lot of ways it didn't. Tyrese Maxey scored 12 points under his average. Jordan Walsh checked in, and Maxey scored 13 the rest of the way. Walsh had 8. Ugo made his presence felt until he twisted his ankle, and Hauser covered for his low offensive output by playing solid defense and grabbing rebounds. So many people are looking at the 5-7 record and thinking about selling out for a lottery pick. Keep in mind the C's subtracted Holiday, KP, Al, and Cornette, elevated Nemi, Pritchard, and Walsh to key contributors, and added Minot, Garza, and Simons. They're 5-7 more because they're giving up 35 plus quarters. They're 2-6 in those games. Celtics are learning how to play and win as a team. They're just going to get better and soon. Be well, RJ, who was enjoying the effort becoming results. I do think the Celtics have played a lot better as the season has gone on, man. I mean, you think of the 0-3 start to the year.
Yeah.
Like if you eliminate that 0-3 start, they're what since then? 6-4 since then.
Yep.
Like
in their last 10.
You can see the dividends paying off.
Yeah, for perspective, I mean, we're gonna look at the standings here in a second, but like there are a lot of solid Eastern Conference teams that are 6-4 in their last 10. So like the Celtics have been on pace with them. And as Jack pointed out, if it wasn't for their 0-3 start, they would be even better. It's really hard though. Like I am unable to watch the Celtics game and not want them to win. I, in the grand scheme of things, think it's better in the long run if they were bad this year and they could get a top pick. But like, I don't know. Like this team is just showing you that it's better than a tanking team. Like you just can't do it. Like you can't be top 10 in all three like rating categories and then like want to tank. You just can't. They've played too good, even if they're managing to lose games. It's like it's mind-boggling that they keep losing.
They're a good basketball team. I've said it since the start of the year. 45 wins. I'm like they are a genuinely good basketball team. They're a playoff basketball team. You just got to wait for the growing pains to iron themselves out, and I believe that they have started to do that. So, RJ's second email says, "Pick a wing, any wing. Morning, folks. Celtics wing play keeps turning up, and it doesn't seem to matter who's on the floor. Walsh, Minot, Ugo, Hauser are all contributing on defense. So no matter what, no matter who's out there, Celtics are slowing people down. Their offensive contributions are a lot more variable, but even those are starting to level up a little bit at a time. Heck, even Baylor had some minutes showing team defense competence. Strap in and enjoy this squad. It's going to be a fun season. Be well, RJ, who almost titled this email Wingstop. I would have liked Wingstop. I'm a fan. I like Wingstop.
We have one now. Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island?
We never had one. It's actually right by where we play basketball.
Really?
It's like right down the street. It's on that street.
I love wings. I want wings. That's bad. I haven't eaten today. I haven't eaten it all day.
You have been on some just absolute famine droughts.
I'm busy.
lately.
I have shit to do. I've got too much stuff to do, man. I was at Michaela's this morning. I went to the Auerbach at 11, and I was there all day until I came home and I recorded with you. I haven't done anything. I've been working all day.
For perspective, for the listeners, Jack showed up to Wednesday's Celtics game having flown home from Philly that day. He hadn't eaten. We were sitting down for dinner at Chef Lamont's, establishment, his like 5-star restaurant. I don't know what the word is. I'm losing my thought for words lately. But anyways, Jack had not eaten to that point, so he's been going through it.
I'm hungry. I want wings, and I might have to.
You're gonna pivot on your dinner order?
I was gonna order, and then Michaela was like, "We should make food because we were spending too much money." And I was like, begrudgingly, yes, but no. We'll see. We'll see what I get up to. NBA standings. Let's check around the league, see who's doing what, see how things are going. I gotta stop thinking about Wingstop. Okay, top of the Eastern Conference. Detroit Pistons, 10-2. Detroit basketball.
Yes.
2.5 game lead over everybody else. After them, you got the Knicks, Sixers, Cavs, and Trae Young-less Hawks. Raptors have pushed their way up to 7-5, as have the Bucks and the Heat. Bulls and Magic and Celtics are hovering right around that range as well. And then you got the Hornets, who are a little bit behind Boston. And then the Nets, Pacers, and Wizards have combined to win fewer games than everybody else and individually in the conference.
The Celtics have the third best differential in the conference. This is crazy. And they're in the bottom 5. It's unbelievable the luck they've had. I mean, I know they've beaten the brakes off of some teams, so that contributes to it. As the people in Greeny's replies on Twitter just keep saying. But anyways.
But that's what you're supposed to do if you're a good team.
That is what you're
I don't really care. Exactly.
Pistons. How about them? Can't believe that they've started this well. I was really down in their offseason. And what's remarkable about this Pistons team, they've won 8 in a row. And the last couple, like, they've been without guys. Like, Jalen Duren's missed time. Like, Cade missed the last game. They beat the Wizards in overtime, which I guess, like, if you're the Wizards or you're playing the Wizards, you should beat them no matter what, considering how bad they are. But the Pistons have really done a good job with their depth. Duncan Robinson's been really, really good for them. And it seems like they've hit, and their internal development has done enough to keep pushing them forward. So I'm looking forward to seeing them play in the Cup on Friday. Looking forward to seeing them continue to play. They'll be in town in a little under 2 weeks, which will be fun. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving. It's a 5 p.m. tip-off. It is a Cup game. Whoa. But it'll be good to see them. New York, Philly, Cleveland, all 6-4 in their last 10, just like the Celtics, as are the Raptors. Philly is playing well, even with Embiid in and out of the lineup. As I still personally feel like they are much, much better without Embiid. I think they can just play faster, but Jack's highlighting it. Wizards, double-digit losing streak, 11 games into the season. They won their first game, lost the next 10. this is similar to how it happened to the Pistons 2 years ago. The Pistons started 2-1 in 2023, and then they lost. Then it got worse.
Wizards were 1-1. They didn't even win 2 games.
No, they were literally 1-0 because they. Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry. You're right. They've played 12 games, not 11. My bad. That's on me. But yeah, 10 in a row. They're on Pistons watch. There's nothing I love more early in the NBA season, except for the Cup, than a double-digit losing streak. It makes it electric every time said team plays.
What's the Wizards schedule look like? How likely are they to?
Yes.
Oh no.
Is there an ass off soon?
Nets Sunday.
Nets Sunday. This is John Cena versus The Rock.
You know what? It's Nets Sunday. Then they get Minnesota, Toronto, Chicago, Atlanta, Indiana, or Atlanta, and then Indiana, who's also bad. So they're gonna have 2 chances in between here in the mix. So
Speaking of, I want to talk about Brooklyn briefly. As you guys are all hearing this, you'll know. It came out yesterday that Paolo Banchero has injured himself. He will not be playing in Friday's NBA Cup game against the Nets. I tweeted about it. I was like, hey, something to monitor. If the Nets can somehow, I said somehow, beat the Magic, it would be really great for the Celtics in terms of Cup hopes. And then everyone that replies is like, it's the Nets. Like they're better when Franz is the only guy, and so on. It's just like, yeah, that's why I said somehow. I didn't say that, oh, now the Nets are going to beat them. You better watch out. But I'll be watching. That is must-see hoops. And if Orlando does somehow lose, the Cup is back on. Because Orlando still plays Philly and Detroit in the group stage, who are the best 2 teams record-wise in Group B right now.
Mm-hmm. Still a chance. Cup is not dead yet. Not dead yet. Also, Sam, if you want some pain, Celtics are allowing 4 fewer points than anybody else in the conference per game.
See, that doesn't upset me, though, because it's just I feel like that is real. That is something that is going to stay stable. Them being a terrible 3-point shooting team does not feel sustainable. It just doesn't feel real when I watch them miss some of these shots. Jack and I did the video earlier in the week where we looked at the difference between the shots in the win over who the fuck they play on Wednesday? What team?
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies knew it was a bad team and losing to Philly. It was the same thing. And they still shot 40% instead of 35. And it was the difference.
Yep. Damn shame. Western Conference, 12-1 Thunder are ridiculous. Nuggets at 9-2, Spurs at 8-3. Then you got the Rockets at 7-3, the Lakers at 8-4, Timberwolves are 7-4. Suns are 5-game win streak, just nasty now. Dylan Brooks is averaging 20 a game. Blazers are still there. Warriors are floating. Jazz 4-8, and everything below is pretty shitty. Jazz, Grizzlies, Clippers, Kings, Mavs, Pelicans are all pretty ass. Pretty not good.
It's funny that there's just a clear split, right down the middle of the conference. It's above 500, and it gets worse.
And it's crazy because I thought, we were pretty on par if you just flip the Clippers and the Suns, but
yeah, I thought it was really sad when the Lakers got a chance to prove themselves against the Thunder this week and just got dealt to ass, killed on national TV. So the Lakers
did beat the Spurs though.
Dead.
They got one good win.
They
did beat the Spurs.
They did beat the Spurs. They beat the Spurs in the game that we talked about in the show. I was like, we're gonna see who's real and who's not. But Stephen Castle's been really good for San Antonio too. We've all been talking about Wemby because it's very easy to look at Wemby highlights on Twitter and be like, the league is doomed for years to come. But Stephon Castle's averaging almost the double-double with 20 and 9 assists per game, and he's a good defender. San Antonio almost has too much going on. They've got him dishing out assists. They have De'Aaron Fox, who's now back from injury. They have Dylan Harper too. They're another sneaky. I know you mentioned them having the Hawks pick, but they're another sneaky OKC rival because they've somehow built up this war chest right alongside Oklahoma City, and they have a surplus of guards right now that they could trade probably one of them, presumably Fox, if they decide to do so, for even more draft picks down the line.
Yeah, the Spurs are good, man. They're nasty. I mean, they've got Luke Cornett too, so that just ties the cherry on top. Like shit.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do? I miss Luke Cornett, man. What a goat. What is he averaging this year? How is he doing? I gotta check in on my boy.
They all love him. I always see Josh, fanside Josh, tweeting about how much Luke Cornett's been awesome for the Spurs.
Oh, he's been hurt for a lot of the season. I didn't realize he's only played in 4 games. But
he played the other
4
day.
Games,
Because I
11
saw
and 6.
a screenshot of
Luke
Cornett and Al Horford.
Yeah. 11. He's averaging 11 and 6 on 79% shooting. He's so good, man. He's insane. He hasn't missed a shot since coming back from injury. 2 games, 6 and 6 in each. Shout out, Luke. Okay, Sam, Ratless, what you got?
Rat list is the weather. Somehow Los Angeles has a storm forecasted this weekend, which has canceled the music festival. I've been just sitting here thinking about it all week. I've been so excited. Saturday in the middle of the night at 1 a.m., I was going to watch Childish Gambino. Now it's been pushed back a week. Thankfully, no Celtics game that night either, so I'm free. But I'm just sad that I have to wait a whole nother week for this. I literally like, this was the thing that was like pushing me through. Not to say like my weeks are hard right now. I get to write and do podcasts with the Celtics, but like I was so excited. Like all of us Celtics people are on like a mini vacation right now because there's actually a break in games instead of just game. And I was like, that's one of the things I'm excited for. And they had to push back the entire thing a week. So I'm pretty bummed. Saw it today.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's also, it just never rains there.
I was gonna say, what are the chances of a storm in California? Like what?
No, terrible.
That sucks. What do I want to Ratless? My food and sleep schedule, because I've basically been choosing: do I want to eat or sleep 2 more hours? And I've been sleeping 2 more hours, which is fine. But right now I'm feeling it. I'm very hungry. Also, I don't want to Ratless the hair because I don't really like. It doesn't matter. Like I don't want to Ratless Joe. The tweet of me retweeting the video and said at least my mom liked it because she said it looks nice. Has 2,000 views, or 2,000 likes and 230,000 views. So people are just seeing Joe Mazzulla dog my haircut.
It's better,
which is hilarious.
Tweet. Like everybody likes your tweet. Like that would annoy me if you did the quote tweet. Nobody cared about it, but the CLNS clip had like the 230,000 views with the 2,000 likes. Like that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mazzulla clips.
Yeah.
I think it was Michael Hilly. Somebody sent to the First the Floor Discord like a TikTok of like his top 5 Mazzulla press conference moments, where like the first one was him talking about the city editions from last year, and like there were some other ones. Like there was one where Gary asked him about a 5-second violation, and he just kept saying, "Yeah, that happened, yeah." Like that was the top one. Your "How are you doing?" did not make the cut.
Yeah, I'm glad that's gotten buried.
Snubbed.
I'm glad that's gone.
Pull it up. Everybody needs to see it.
Absolutely not. No shot.
You handled it okay. That would be terrifying. If that happened to me, I'd never ask a question again.
It was fine. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe George likes to fuck with me because he yelled at me earlier in the year.
It probably means he likes you, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't really know if I have anything else. Yeah, I don't think I have much. I've been pretty chill.
It's cold. It's
cold.
It is cold. I'll tell you that. It was cold today. I was out running, and I was just like it became cold all of a sudden, like out of nowhere. Earlier in the week, it was like a feels like 19 degrees day after being like 50 all weekend, and I was just like, where did this come from? Why is this the weather all of a sudden? It's terrible. One thing that's funny about like when the sun starts to go down early is your days just feel so short. Like
I was just gonna say this too.
Like 4 p.m. comes along and it's dark and you're like, I already got to get ready for bed. But
Ridiculous.
There is like we talked about it like late in the summer, like with fall and like how cool fall is and the leaves turn and everything. There is some kind of aura to like it being 5 p.m. and dark out, and like it's just like you can still do things like go out, like go to the store when it's dark out. I don't know why. Personally, probably brings back like memories of like high school basketball, or like just like childhood basketball season in general, which was always a fun time. And then another thing, started watching the HBO It series today. Watched the first episode, enjoyed it. So I will be seated for the next couple. But finally had some time to sit and actually like watch some TV, and definitely enjoyed my selection.
Fire. Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch TV or a movie tonight or something amidst my work, which would be nice. But I'm gonna get some food first because I'm really hungry. So that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, we can wrap it up there.
Yeah, I was driving home today and I was parking my car at 4:50 in the fucking pitch black, and I was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" But yeah, appreciate.
You know what? I have an extra rat list. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hate to like prolong this. I was in Boston on Wednesday looking for my parking spot for Celtics Grizzlies, and I love to park on the street. Like I love metered parking. Like never park in a garage. I always find a meter. Like I've gotten really good at this over my year of regularly going to the home games. I sat behind this person whose like brake lights were on in their parallel parking space for 15 minutes. And then I finally said, fuck it, I'm leaving. And I passed them. There wasn't even anybody in the car. Somebody just went into wherever they were, didn't put their hazards on, were taking up a street parking space, and they weren't even in the car. Like
Maybe
I
they
was
just
like
left their lights on
flashing.
by accident.
No, because when I found my spot and I was walking, they were finally leaving. So they had like either maybe they started the car early, like leaving work or something.
Yeah.
But like I was sitting there like flashing my high beams, trying to like just like give me some sign, like, are you parking here or are you leaving? Because I don't want to stay here for nothing.
You got cooked.
Motherfucker.
You got cooked. All right. Appreciate it. Leave a like, subscribe, let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Jack and I are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps morning after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there for you. So if you just want those followed, they'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Read them every single time we do the show. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter, Jack's Mon NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.